Puff got quite possibly of the most blazing DJ off a sweltering night, since she needed to set up an image of him. Getting his jeans pulled down, it'd nearly be the preface to a bash yes gracious totally oak wow. It was so introduction. So when I see them I'm similar to all men know. There's not a lady at this time, they're each of the 100 on Euphoria. Like you can see Diddy's in, like white material resembling wow, like loot ice on my areolas right. You realize like or hip bounce being closeted. And having a plenty of children to demonstrate masculinity that you know and forswearing of something that you shouldn't need to deny, which is your sexuality. So I seen brushes. Or then again on the off chance that you figure Diddy has been in the news, a ton of late fundamentally. For his up-and-coming summer single demonstration. Terrible with spectacular. And the city young ladies anyway. He additionally got fans' consideration because of his oldest child Justin searches being captured for a DUI half a month prior since the episode hit the consistent pattern of media reporting the discussion around Diddy's name has taken a perceptibly pessimistic turn in any event, making him pattern on Twitter as clients banter a portion of his past problematic jokes. Now all of you recall Keefe D various distributions have detailed a story in regards to the homicide of Tupac Shakur and the admission of a supposed accomplice to the occurrence, Dwayne Keith Davis, also called Keith for reasons unknown. One self-broadcasted Compton Top Dog likewise has a few filthy mysteries on Terrible Kid Pioneer. Diddy purportedly compromising photographs portraying the music chief as not so straight throughout recent decades. Hip bounce heads and mainstream society fan have been guessing about the I'll be missing you craftsman's sexuality. Obviously, he's denied bits of gossip about being sexually open or gay over the course of the years, yet that hasn't prevented the charges from streaming. Separated from that discussion, different clients are additionally referencing Diddy's previous admission to presenting Irv stars like attendant to a grown-up way of life years before they were of legitimate age inquisitive. I had an opportunity to see a few things definitely between 13. What were you talking about went there to see the way of life right. And I saw it and it was. And it was nevertheless I couldn't say whether I could enjoy and comprehend Diddy appreciates being the focal point of consideration at any occasion. Yet isn't there any cutoff to his capacity to do? So that is presumably why his previous gangster has sold out him. The affirmation we as a whole required in regards to Diddy's sexuality, in the meantime, seems to have been presented with a royal flair. Why say that, well, Keith D was the person who broke the tale about the music business leader in the event that you've been staying aware of Diddy's profession you've, without a doubt, run over Keith D's name. That is on the grounds that he used to fill in as an individual from Diddy's security team. And as you can envision individuals who chased after the hotshot however much Keith did, were conscious of a few fascinating locales. With regards to a new meeting with the specialty of exchange, Keith D expressed that in spite of the far and wide homophobia coordinated at his previous boss, he doesn't really accept that Diddy is solely gay. Rather, the ex-monitor believes there's no question Diddy is sexually open. You got youthful Miami cars and stuff yet. I think he watches you. This wouldn't actually be raised in the event that Diddy hadn't professed to be straight for such a long time. Yet the disclosure is for sure stunning given his public persona anyway. That was a long way from the last mystery. Keefe shared the previous security official, proceeded to say that he had seen one particular occurrence that demonstrated what he and every other person had thought about Diddy. Keith uncovered in his meeting that he once saw Diddy rise out of the shower of the lodging suite, where they were remaining wearing just a towel around his midsection when I utilized in Anaheim. He came on the shower with a towel folded over him. As you would expect, the watchman was surprised by the website of 50 or so mobsters in a single lodging, as they didn't frequently gather in such a setting. Keith claims that the whole episode was peculiar for him since in no way like it at any point happened in his childhood. He guaranteed that Diddy was slumping in the towel As though the still up in the air to parade his nudes, I mean. Isn't that somewhat unusual for somebody who professes to be essentially as straight as a ruler all around? How about we continue on the web? Wouldn't go that psycho, assuming this happened to some other superstar, yet Diddy and LGBT subjects of talk are practically frequently in the news, dissimilar to most heteros famous people. Diddy's sexuality has been raised out about on various events throughout the long term. The rapper, however, gives off an impression of being hiding something as of now. One of the bits of gossip that has prompted Diddy's gay doubts was blown during Keith's meeting with Discourse in The Incredible Hero. And he was conversing with Family's man. We got a party, Family said. He as of now party, you understand what I'm talking about. No, we got to extremely apparently the music chief and the overall population have various meanings of what comprises a great time. Marvelous is one performer not entirely set in stone. To persuade that nothing bad can really be said about celebrating extra and reveling in sexual exercises. Assuming you look carefully, you can see that spectacular, God covered in all that corn, his disposition is justifiable. Given the undetectable burden, he gives off an impression of being bearing. He appears to be fairly confined as he eats his sweet peacefully. He additionally tries not to visually connect with people around him, like he is awkward doing, so maybe Diddy's presence in this odd murkiness of feelings is quietly influencing Fantastica perspective. Is there a crash between their creative yearnings and a private matter that is causing this odd response? We can estimate, in light of the fact that they know the full story anyway. No part of that seemed to fluster Diddy as he kept on taking advantage of his leverage. At long last, Fav said, astounding in essence response to what did he said, clarified that he wished to evaporate from presence at that exact second. This is what one more fan who saw his response needed to say to affirm. We're not making it up. Later, Diddy had himself conveyed to breathtaking den inside a birthday cake. He leaped out of the cake. It came at Fab like the goods fighter. I like you. And I need you. We can do this the simple way or the most difficult way possible. The decision is yours. Breathtaking. What about reality? And what is fans' take on Diddy's sexual direction? The way that it generally arises, since Diddy has been trapped in an excessive number of lies over the course of the years. For them all to be simple accidents, apparently any semblance of Keefe are the ones talking every bit of relevant information. When gotten some information about his humiliating minutes, Diddy once conceded that he and the attendant used to tussle over cold treats. It might appear to be charming right away, yet consider that Usher was entering his high school years, and Diddy was only several years from being 30. You realize, hollered to him. And what he did, I'm about to in the event that we can't only. How about we just put the camera low this way to make sure we're not. I don't believe that my shot should try. And as I don't maintain that it should come close in the clasp that has since circulated around the web, nobody appears to comprehend what entertainer Kevin Hart implied when he discussed remaining in bed with Diddy after a mistake. Diddy had a go at saving his face from the humiliation, yet there was essentially never going to be a valid justification for a grown-up to get up with a 10-year-old kid.